Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the fascinating tales of our collective past. Today, we embark on a journey to the enchanting city of Venice and the remarkable story of the Venetian Republic. This was a place where the sea met the sky and the boundaries between east and west were blissfully blurred. The Venetian Republic, with its majestic architecture, ingenious engineering, and cunning diplomacy, would become a beacon of prosperity and culture in the medieval world. To understand the rise of this magnificent republic, we must first venture back to the tumultuous days of the Western Roman Empire. As the empire's grip on power began to loosen, the Italian peninsula was beset by waves of barbarian invasions. The Huns, with their lightning-fast mounted archers, left a trail of devastation in their wake. The Visigoths, under the leadership of Alaric, sacked Rome itself, sending shockwaves throughout the known world. Amidst this chaos, a group of refugees from the mainland, fleeing the ravages of war and conquest, sought safety on the scattered islands of the Venetian lagoon. These early settlers, primarily fishermen and salt farmers, would lay the foundation for the future greatness of Venice. They brought with them their unique cultural heritage, shaped by the blend of Roman, Celtic, and Germanic influences that characterized the region. As the centuries passed, the inhabitants of the lagoon began to coalesce into a distinct community. They developed a sophisticated system of government, with the Bishop of Torcello serving as the spiritual leader, and the tribunes, or leaders of the various island communities, providing guidance on matters of state. The Venetians also demonstrated a remarkable aptitude for trade, establishing connections with the Byzantine Empire to the east and the burgeoning cities of northern Italy to the west. The year 452 marked a pivotal moment in the history of the lagoon dwellers. As the Huns, led by Attila, descended upon Italy, the Venetians joined forces with the Western Roman Emperor Valentinian III to repel the invaders. Although the Huns were ultimately defeated, the experience served as a catalyst for the Venetians to assert their independence and forge a distinct identity. In the subsequent decades, the Venetians continued to consolidate their power, establishing a loose confederation of island communities, with the Rialto Island emerging as the de facto capital. The famous Rialto Market, where merchants from all corners of the Mediterranean gathered to exchange goods and stories, became a hub of commercial activity, fueling the growth and prosperity of the Venetian people. As the Rialto market continued to thrive, the Venetians began to expand their territorial reach, establishing a network of trading posts and colonies throughout the Adriatic Sea. In 751, they seized control of the strategic island of Comacchio, which would serve as a crucial hub for their maritime trade. This move marked the beginning of Venice's ascendance as a dominant naval power in the region. The year 810 proved to be a pivotal moment in Venetian history, as the Frankish Emperor Charlemagne, seeking to expand his empire, launched a series of attacks on the lagoon cities. The Venetians, however, were able to resist the Frankish invaders, thanks in large part to their mastery of the sea and their clever use of the lagoon's treacherous waters. The Frankish threat ultimately subsided, and the Venetians emerged stronger and more united than ever. In 814, the Byzantine Emperor Leo V recognized Venice as an independent republic, granting its leaders the title of Duke and formalizing the city's trading privileges with the Eastern Empire. This agreement marked a significant milestone in Venetian history, as it secured the city's position as a major player in the Mediterranean trade. As the 9th century progressed, Venice continued to expand its territorial reach, establishing colonies and trading posts throughout the Adriatic and beyond. In 840, the Venetians launched a successful campaign against the Slavic pirates who had been raiding their shipping lanes, securing a crucial victory at the Battle of Kavarnar Bay. This triumph cemented Venice's reputation as a formidable naval power, and its merchants began to dominate the trade in luxury goods such as silk, spices, and precious metals. The 10th century saw the rise of the great Venetian families, including the Dandolo, the Gradenigo, and the Ziani, who would shape the city's politics and commerce for centuries to come. In 976, a devastating fire swept through the city, destroying much of the Rialto market and forcing the Venetians to rebuild on an even grander scale. The new Rialto, with its stunning architecture and bustling commercial activity, became a marvel of the medieval world, attracting merchants and travelers from every corner of Europe. As the Venetian Republic continued to grow in power and influence, it began to assert its independence from the Byzantine Empire, which had long been its closest ally. In 1000, the Venetian Doge, Pietro II Orseolo, launched a successful campaign against the Croatian kingdom of Dalmatia, securing control of the strategic cities of Zadar and Split. This victory marked the beginning of Venice's expansion into the eastern Adriatic and its emergence as a major power in the region. In 1082, the Venetians signed a historic treaty with the Byzantine Emperor Alexios I Komnenos, which granted them extensive trading privileges and territorial concessions throughout the Eastern Empire. The 12th century saw the rise of the great Venetian maritime empire, as the city's merchants and sailors established trading posts and colonies throughout the Mediterranean. In 1122, the Venetians launched a successful campaign against the Fatimid Caliphate in Egypt, securing control of the strategic port city of Tyre. This victory marked the beginning of Venice's expansion into the eastern Mediterranean and its emergence as a major player in the Crusades. As the Venetian Republic continued to expand its territorial reach, it also began to develop a sophisticated system of government with a powerful doge at its head and a complex network of councils and magistracies. In 1143, the Venetians established the Great Council, which would serve as the supreme governing body of the Republic for centuries to come. This institution, composed of the city's most powerful nobles and merchants, would shape Venice's politics and commerce and guide its expansion into the medieval world. The 13th century saw the rise of the great Venetian trading families, including the Tiepolo, the Corner, and the Mocenigo, who would dominate the city's commerce and politics for generations to come. In 1204, the Venetians played a crucial role in the Fourth Crusade, providing the naval transport and logistical support that enabled the Crusaders to capture the Byzantine capital of Constantinople. As the Venetian Republic continued to grow in power and influence, it began to assert its independence from the Holy Roman Empire, which had long been its closest ally. In 1221, the Venetian Doge, Pietro Ziani, launched a successful campaign against the imperial city of Ferrara, securing control of the strategic Po River Delta. This victory marked the beginning of Venice's expansion into northern Italy and its emergence as a major power in the region. The 14th century saw the rise of the great Venetian artists and architects, including the Bellini, the Carpaccio, and the Sansovino, who would create some of the city's most iconic landmarks, including St. Mark's Basilica and the Doge's Palace. In 1348, the Black Death swept through Venice, devastating its population and forcing the city to rebuild on an even grander scale. The new Venice, with its stunning architecture and bustling commercial activity, became a marvel of the Renaissance world, attracting artists, merchants, and travelers from every corner of Europe. As the Venetian Republic continued to grow in power and influence, it began to assert its dominance over the Mediterranean trade, establishing a network of trading posts and colonies throughout the region. In 1380, the Venetians signed a historic treaty with the Ottoman Empire, which granted them extensive trading privileges and territorial concessions throughout the Eastern Empire. As the Venetian Republic continued to dominate the Mediterranean trade, its power and influence reached new heights in the 15th century. The city's strategic location at the head of the Adriatic Sea made it a crucial hub for commerce between East and West, and its skilled merchants and sailors established trading posts and colonies throughout the region. However, this period of growth and expansion was not without its challenges, as the Venetian Republic faced increasing competition from other European powers, including the Ottoman Empire. In 1453, the Ottoman Empire conquered Constantinople, marking a significant shift in the balance of power in the Mediterranean. The Venetian Republic responded by forming alliances with other Christian states and launching a series of military campaigns against the Ottomans. Despite these efforts, the Venetian Republic was ultimately unable to stem the tide of Ottoman expansion, and by the 16th century, its territories in the eastern Mediterranean were under threat. One of the most significant challenges faced by the Venetian Republic during this period was the rise of the Habsburg Empire, which sought to dominate the Mediterranean trade and undermine Venetian power. As the Venetian historian Marino Sanuto wrote, "The Habsburgs are a powerful and cunning enemy who seek to destroy our city and our way of life. The Venetian Republic responded by forming alliances with other European powers and launching a series of military campaigns against the Habsburgs. Despite these challenges, the Venetian Republic continued to thrive, and its culture and economy reached new heights in the 16th century. The city became a center of artistic and intellectual innovation, attracting scholars, artists, and writers from across Europe. As the French writer Michel de Montaigne observed, "Venice is a city like no other, where the air is sweet with the scent of commerce and the sound of laughter." However, the Venetian Republic's decline began in the 17th century, as it faced increasing competition from other European powers and struggled to maintain its territories in the eastern Mediterranean. In 1797, the city was conquered by Napoleon's armies, marking the end of the Venetian Republic's independence. As the Venetian historian Paolo Prato wrote, "The fall of Venice was a tragic event, which marked the end of a glorious era and the beginning of a new period of subjugation." Today, the Venetian Republic is remembered as one of the most powerful and influential city-states in history, whose legacy continues to shape our understanding of politics, commerce, and culture. As the Italian historian Federico Chabod observed, the Venetian Republic was a unique and fascinating phenomenon, which combined the virtues of democracy and aristocracy to create a truly remarkable civilization. The city of Venice remains one of the most beautiful and historic cities in the world, attracting millions of visitors each year who come to marvel at its stunning architecture, art, and culture. The Venetian Republic's impact on modern society is still felt today, from its innovative system of government to its vibrant cultural heritage. The Venetian Republic may be gone, but its legacy lives on, inspiring us to strive for greatness and to never forget the power of human ingenuity and creativity. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.